Welcome to the Real Impact Show. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Don Jacks.
And I'm Aaron Zapata.
Yes, we are happy you're with us today, talking all things real estate.
All things
real estate. It's been a good week, Aaron.
It has been a good week.
Yeah, we have a good topic to jump into today. I like this.
I think so.
Yes. We last week were, before we get into it, like and subscribe.
Absolutely.
Please hit the notification button. We'd love to spend more time with you talking real estate. We were talking about time management last week.
We were.
And you said you wanted to dig a little deeper.
Yeah.
I think was the terminology. Yeah.
Or are we digging deeper?
Digging deeper into the conversation of getting things done with time and using time. And I wanted to dive right into it. And what are you talking about?
Well, the reality is, right, if you're going to make $1 million in this business every year.
That's right.
Earning commissions and selling homes, you have to know how to spend your time. And we talked in generals last time we did this, but I want to talk about specifics because yesterday I went on a pretty long road trip.
I would say so, yes.
Would you say so?
A listing appointment road trip.
Yeah, a listing appointment road trip. So it was a road trip with a purpose, and it was a one-day turnaround trip. And so I wanted to talk about it with you, and let's debate. Let's figure out, was it worth my time? Because we're talking about time management.
That's right.
And here I go on this really long road trip for a listing appointment. So let me set the background.
Let's do it.
We get a call, my teammate and I, Todd, and it's a person who wants to sell their home. They're motivated to sell their home. We did all the pre-qualifying questions. We have a general idea of what they want to sell it for. The only thing we don't know is the current condition. We can look at the comps. It's in our MLS. We can look at all of the sales around there. We get a general estimate. So it was within the range, and we decided to go for it. So we left at 5 a.m. in the morning.
5 a.m.
5 a.m. Hey, realtors, are you willing to get up at 5 a.m. to do this job?
There's 2 5s on the clock.
Yeah,
right. 2.
Yeah, so actually I got up at 4, left the home at 5.
There we go.
And we drove 6 hours.
6 hours.
Yeah. So we
got a listing appointment.
To a listing appointment.
Gotcha.
It's a little far away, Aaron. Yeah, I know. Listen to the whole story, please, before you write me off. This person needs to sell. And they came through our website that says, hey, if you will make us a decent offer, we'll sell it to you right now. So we have buyers, we have sellers out there that call us and say, hey, we want you to buy it directly from us. So it's potentially a great opportunity for us. We drive 6 hours from Southern California to the Monterey Bay Peninsula, Carmel by the Sea specifically, where Clint Eastwood was the mayor in 1983. And we get there.
You did your homework.
We did our homework. We had some lunch, and then we went to her home, and we talked with the homeowner. And then we drove back and got home we went by another prospective listing on the way home, but we got home at 10:30. So I got back to my house at 10:30. Long day. How many hours is that? You doing the math? You got your calculator?
You're the one with the calculator. You said the one with the calculator wins. Okay. What's that? 12 and 5 is 17 and a half hours.
Yeah. So
long day.
Yeah. Long day. Driving 12 of those. That's a long day.
Yeah.
So we may or may not take the listing. Let me say this. The listing is ours to take if we want it. But we're trying to decide now, are we going to? So do you think, Don, that was a good use of my time?
So
Don takes a deep breath.
Yeah. If that was it, is that a good use of your time or not? Maybe.
Yeah.
Depends.
Right.
What else could you have done in that time that would give you the same opportunity, right? We could go down the list of prospecting, follow up, going on closer potential appointments.
Yeah.
But we're talking about what, a $2.5 million house?
Yeah, we're talking about $2.4 million.
Right.
Was the number that was in everybody's head when we were getting there.
That's right.
And so if you do the math, 2.4. Here's my calculator, 2.4 million. And we discussed a 3% commission for the listing side. That's a $72,000 commission.
72,000 divided by 17 hours.
Yeah, divided by 17 hours, assuming that we put no more time into it.
No more time.
That's $4,200 an hour.
That all by itself seems to make it worth it.
Absolutely. So if we don't get it, did we waste our time? And so we have to look at these things as realtors, right? We always have opportunities. And there's an opportunity cost. If you're to understand how to make money in this business, you have to look at your opportunity cost. What did we give up in those 17 hours that could have generated $72,000 worth of potential income? Because we could not do anything but travel, appointment, travel home.
That's right.
Now, we could have prospected along the way. Could have guys like on the phone. It was calling people in the car. Like, that's just not me, though. You know, so I'm listening to music. We're talking, right? And it was two of us that were going. So two of us went. We also rented the car, paid for gas, paid for food. It was about $400 all in.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay.
Okay. The website's already there. The leads come in regardless of us doing anything.
That's right.
So we're not spending money there anymore. Leads are coming in. $400. How much does it cost to get a Zillow lead right now?
Probably $300 to $500.
Right.
Right. With zero guarantee.
Zero guarantee.
Zero guarantee and a 35 to 40% referral fee back to Zillow.
Right.
Right.
So for us, we're looking at this opportunity. We think, okay, if we have a reasonable seller, we have somebody that is going to be willing to work with us. And she went on our website. She read all of our reviews. And she called us and said, I want you. We're like, okay. So we met with the local team up there.
Hey, the marketing's working. Good job.
Thank you.
That's good.
So we met with the local team. And then after the meeting, we sent them a message saying, hey, here's kind of where the numbers went to. It became a little unrealistic, and we thought so. And so we asked the team locally, do you think it would sell for 2.5, 2.55?
Right.
And they're like, no, not in that condition, not right now. And we've come to that conclusion. So was it dead? Is it dead? I still think there's an opportunity here for us.
Looking back, whether you get the listing or not, do you feel it was worth your time?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
For a couple of reasons. We felt that, when you're working with a teammate, team culture is important. Time together with your team is important. So Todd and I got a lot of time in the car together talking about a bunch of different things, building that professional relationship, that friendship.
Right.
We also got to meet the team that works the area from real.
Yep.
So we're all part of the same brokerage, and which was cool. And also got to see the new area. And at the worst case, what's going to happen is we're going to follow up now with a follow-up Zoom meeting, probably record it on Loom and send her some analysis. I've got a lot of number crunching to do, but I'm going to send her a recap, and I'm going to say, look, we enjoyed meeting you, and here's what we have now been able to put together.
Sure.
The condition was unknown. We now know the condition. The timing, we knew, but now we have a better understanding of what you want to do, your needs, and what you're looking for. All of that boils down to a listing price more like 1.9, not 2.4.
There we are.
And if she says yes, then we have a listing that's realistic at 1.9. Yeah. Oh, we're not making 72 grand, but we're going to be able to still help her. She needs help.
Sorry, 55 grand.
I know.
Yes.
Terrible day. So we have to do that, right? And we're going to follow up with her. And if she says no to that, then I'm going to refer it over to the local team for follow-up.
That's right.
With a referral fee at some time in the future.
That's right.
So let's assume it sells for 1.9 at some time in the future. And we've referred it to the local team. And they take a listing and it sells, because that's a realistic sales price. That's a $57,000 commission. If we send it out at a 25% referral fee, that's a $14,250 referral check.
There you go.
I think that if I could earn $14,000 a day with my activities, that I would be doing really well in this business.
You do that all day
I would do that
long.
all day long.
Yes.
Right?
How many of these a day can we do?
Right. Well, if it's 6 hours away, I can only do one, right?
You can hit 2 or 3 on the way back. I don't know, Aaron.
Well, we did drive by a potential listing.
Are these
on the way
goals
back.
real or not, Aaron?
Yeah,
Come on.
right,
We got to get after it.
Let's go. So, we took an extra 45 minutes on the way back to go out of the way to look at a potential listing that's been referred to us.
Yes.
That's a probate.
Yes.
And we wanted to get eyes on it, right? And so we killed 2 birds with 1 stone in terms of transactional work. And so that was worth it. And then also with 2 of us going, one of us was working almost the whole time, which was Todd, because I was driving. He was on the computer. We have multiple escrows going on. We've got active listings.
Of course.
So we're making those calls. It's not like we lost work time.
Right.
Because we were able to travel together.
Yes.
And so those things make me believe that it was worth my time.
Yeah.
But I had to, but what other things could I have done? Don?
Well,
that's the question, because not everybody has a listing appointment 6 hours away that's worth $2.4 million.
Not at all, but something to consider and to push back. The opposite side of that is, well, you could have called the team on the phone.
Yeah.
You could have sent them.
Mm-hmm.
They have understanding of the local area.
Right.
They have the expertise of the local area. You still would have made $14,000 if they could, when they convert.
Right.
What can you do with 17 hours? A lot.
Right.
I mean, shoot, give me half that time and let's do CMAs for our past clients and have those follow-up conversations for a day. You'll set 5 more appointments, right? I really believe that. And the lost opportunity cost. I mean, if we were to take that time and actually, and here's the caveat, maybe it's worth it. If you actually replace the time with the hard work, the actual prospecting, the actual follow-up, the conversations, it would have to be such an absolute commitment to doing the hard work to come close to having a chance to replace the opportunity. Yeah. And you've been somebody who's traveled out of the area. We've had this, and for those of you who don't know, we've actually had this conversation for a long time. I am a big fan of normally referring it out and doing other things. And Aaron has gone to the border of Northern California to sell land that sold within 30 days for a great price, and he served his client extremely well.
And I just closed another local escrow with them last week.
Look at that.
And the land was like 4 years ago.
It was 4 years ago, and it was about this big for about $2.85. And it's the relationship. And I think all of this goes back to, what's the relationship with the client? What are the needs of the client? Are you actually the best to serve the client under the circumstance of this client and their needs and their understanding of what you guys do and everything that you've explained about how you actually use the time, right? And that's really the title of this, is how do you use time to your benefit? How do you bend it? Yeah. You did it. You had a team meeting. You got transacted through the transactions, the day-to-day muck that we deal with on our transactions. You were there for a client 6 hours away who researched you, and I don't want to say almost fangirled you, but almost fangirled you guys. You made it work. It doesn't sound like, and we were talking about the leads that came in while you were gone, that the machine's there, the settings are there for that to happen, and you work on not only the highest dollar producing activity, the best activity possible for your client was to go feel it out. Yeah. Maybe it's a $14,000. They're better suited to help you here with this property under these conditions with the knowledge they have, and maybe it's us because of what we've set up here, and we can serve you, and technology is amazing, and it really took 6 hours to get here. It's not a big deal. We could do it one more time if need be.
Absolutely.
Right? I mean, you're not that far away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and we had that discussion, and was, well, you guys aren't local. How can you sell if we go to the open market? Because we're not buying your house off market at this price. It's not justified. Then became the process, well, if I need that much money, how do we get it? Then we said, well, then we have to go on the open market. Then we have to go do different things. And so we started talking about that, and how do we work with a local team? And so, being part of a national brand obviously has helped with that, but because we said we have a team here that we would work in conjunction with. And so we would still be cutting our commission down because now we're going to refer and work together. Still, a good price point on a sellable home, I think all day long, that a trip like that would be worth it.
Not to mention a great topic for podcasts.
Exactly. And you know what? As realtors, we get to write off legitimate business expenses. And so yesterday was a complete write-off.
That's right.
And we got to see a beautiful place. I got to go down to the ocean, and I got to take a picture of Pebble Beach.
Pebble Beach.
You know, and I'm like, I've never seen it from the ocean side. I've been there one time like 30 years ago. And so it was cool, right? I mean, that experience was cool. But I think here's the bigger point for me is that as realtors, we have to recognize that to make money in this business, you have to show up.
Yeah.
And you have to put in the time.
That's right.
I don't know many realtors who are willing to get up at 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. to leave for an appointment at 5 a.m. to get home at 10:30 at night.
That's right.
Now, I wouldn't recommend this every day. Okay. I got a listing appointment.
It's not the best use of time to build a real estate career from the scratch. No,
it's not. But our highest and best use of our time is prospecting.
Yes.
So this was set through online prospecting, which happens 24 hours a day for us.
That's right.
And we set the appointment. We made the appointment. We went on the appointment. And that's the number 2 priority, appointments. And then the third thing is contracts.
That's right.
Because if you're not prospecting, you have no appointments and you have no contracts.
That's right.
So prospecting happening, appointments necessary. Are we going to do the contract? Don't know. Let me tell the story. When I worked at Prudential, I was a relocation agent.
Yes. Yes,
you were. Do you remember the story?
I do.
And this guy was selling his house in Diamond Bar, which is just up the street from our office here in North Orange County. And I said, when are you flying in? He's like, I get in at 2 a.m. I said, why are you coming home? To meet with you. What time do you want to meet? I leave for the airport at 6:30 to go back. AM? AM. So we need to meet at what, 5:30? He said 5:30. I said, okay. And it's a relocation, so it's not like I'm showing up at a stranger's house.
Yeah.
But I leave my house at 5 a.m. I drive to Diamond Bar. I knock on the door at 5:30, and it kind of opens, like, because nobody answered. But the door was left slightly open at his home. So it's dark. I walk in. He's sleeping on the couch. Here I am. I feel like an intruder.
That's hilarious.
Right? But he told me, show up at 5:30. And I'm like, sir, I'm sorry. And I knew his name. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear my alarm. And he looks at me and I said, well, I'm here for the appointment. And he looks at his watch and it's 5:40 now. And he said, if you're willing to show up at my house at 5:30 in the morning, you have the listing. Thanks for coming. And he says, you don't need to stay and present. Just send me the paperwork. I've got to get dressed and head to the airport. And so it was done and done. He went to it was a 10-minute appointment at 5:30 in the morning.
Show up.
Right. And show up. And then I got an amazing recommendation letter from him. He had sold 15 houses, he said. And it was the best experience with us.
That's awesome.
When you show up, you get paid.
Yeah.
Realtors don't show up. Where are the realtors? Where are they? I know you're looking over your shoulder.
I'm looking over my shoulder into our empty office. They're not here.
Where are they?
At the moment.
You want to make money in this business, you got to show up.
You got to show up. It's 70, 80%. We talk about it all the time. Just show up and hang out. And the crumbs are a horrible analogy, but deals just show up by you showing up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We all need the help. There's opportunities everywhere. And I don't know many people that get up at 5 a.m. This isn't a real estate opportunity. I haven't had anybody ask me to be there at 5 a.m. But I'm thinking about my very first job when I was 12 years old.
Yeah.
I'm sitting on the porch of my mom's house, our family home, at 4 a.m. on 4th of July for Barbara and Bill, the local real estate agents, to pick me up and go start farming with flags throughout the city of Cypress.
Yeah.
And, it was that and many other things that developed the work ethic. But the only reason why I was willing to, and you're willing to, and we always talk about it here at Impact, willing to do whatever it takes for the client.
Yeah.
You got to show up. You got to do whatever it takes to help yourself.
Yeah.
Also, right?
And that reminds me of one of my first jobs on my grandpa's farm. You know, he was a peach farmer.
Picking peaches.
And the day that fruit needs to be picked, you're going to pick it.
That's right.
It might, we never knew when we started the day how long we would be working. We did not know when we would leave. Yeah. That was just standard during the harvest time. You show up at 8 o'clock, you punch in, you might get to 8 hours, and then you start getting time and a half, and then you get to 12 hours, and you get double time. I loved those days. Yeah. I felt like I was making twice, 2 times my minimum wage for every hour after 12 hours. I didn't mind it. And in something in the mentality of America's workforce, specifically in realtors, sometimes we forget that we just have to go and put in those hours.
Yeah. It's funny. This morning, Friday morning, it's a different day with podcasts, group calls going on, some training, and it was a work day. Fridays are different, right? They're not as rigid as the rest of the week, at least in my schedule, which is a nice break. But I'm still going to work. I'm still showing up. And for a long time now, this is the JOB. Yeah. I wouldn't have it any other way, but I don't know how to approach real estate not as a job. You got to show up. Yeah. Right.
It is a job. And the phrase that drives me crazy with realtors is they're going to say, I'm going to go get a real job.
Real job.
What do you mean a real job?
Funny. I got a real job.
And I make good money.
That's right.
I sell homes. I help people. I'm working a lot. It's my full-time and my part-time job. I don't have time to get a quote-unquote real job.
That's right.
We just don't, because if you put in the hours, you put in the time, you're going to make the money. But how you use that time is important. So I'm going to go back to those 3 things: prospecting, appointments, and negotiating contracts.
That's what it's all about.
If you don't have a deal going on right now, you have one job: prospecting.
That's right.
And you should show up at 8 o'clock in the morning at an office or at a coffee shop or somewhere and start doing the prospecting.
That's right.
Take a lunch break, come back, and keep doing the prospecting.
That's right.
And prospecting today means 1,000 different things.
That's right.
Phone calls, emails, postcards, social media production,
DMs, text messages, knocking on doors.
Exactly.
It all works.
Exactly.
As long as you do.
That's right.
It works when you do.
Yeah. And until you get a transaction, you should not be doing anything but prospecting.
Yeah. I want to piggyback on that. It's a conversation I've had with a couple of people just this week, a handful of people actually. Coach, all of my leads, I know why, when, and where, but they're all on the fence. They're all waiting until the rates come down, this happens, graduation, summer, Easter, Christmas, whatever it is. And it's interesting. So we talk about, how can we help them off the fence, but some of them are waiting. Do you know what you do when all your leads are waiting? Go back to number 1 on the list.
Yeah.
You go back and prospect. You don't have enough in the pipeline to get what you want out of the bottom in the form of a deal. Right. You need to put more in the funnel, and prospecting and lead generation and the art and science of communication, those conversations that it always comes back to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's the list.
And so going back to my use of my time. I've been in this business for 20 plus years as a broker. I have over 1,000 people in my database that hear from me regularly through mail. I don't call everybody. That's not my style. They get emails from us weekly, sometimes twice.
That's right.
We get unsubscribes every week because we send out a lot. And we're on the radio. We've got websites. We got videos. We got podcasts. We've got stuff that's out there all the time. And we're getting the inbound calls. Come help us.
Yeah.
So my prospecting is working.
Yeah.
All I need to do is figure out how to get them more appointments.
That's right. That's your job.
That's my job.
That's it.
So spending all day to go to an appointment, I thought was a great use of my time. Even if it doesn't produce.
Bad appointment, still better than no appointment.
Because, like we were talking about in the car on the way home, we're like, a couple things. A, we have a great story.
Yeah.
B, if you talk to yourself long enough, you can talk yourself out of any listing.
Yeah.
I don't want to sell it because of this. It's going to be overpriced. It's on a busy street, right? We can talk ourselves out of everything.
That's right.
If we wanted to.
That's right.
But it gave us a long time to really dialogue and discuss and talk about this particular situation.
Yeah.
And we know we're going to have others, you know. It is what it is. I sold property, like you said, in Northern California on the land. I sold my uncle's house in my little hometown, which is 3 hours from here. I sold a 6-acre property, a 12-acre property up near Sacramento. Like, I'm all over the place. But if they ask us to go do the job, we're going to go do the job.
Yeah. Get on the appointment. That's the important part here, right?
Do you remember when I went to Napa?
I don't remember that, no.
Got the call. Well, the seller here in the local Southern California said, when I buy in Napa.
Oh, I do remember that. That's right.
I'm like, great.
Road trip.
So he calls me on a Saturday. Hey, I went to an open house yesterday. We love it. We want to win the offer. All right, I'll draft it. So I drafted the offer. We submitted it. We got the offer accepted Sunday night. Monday morning, I booked a ticket for Thursday. Flew up on Thursday, did the home inspection on Friday, came back Saturday, and closed the deal in Napa.
The real estate license we all hold
in California
is good for the entire state and wherever you're listening to.
Right.
Your real estate license is good for the entire state.
Some I think have reciprocal.
And some more than one state, yes.
Yeah.
And if it's just go take the test, go take the test.
Have license, will travel.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that's been the mantra, especially as the market's contracting with the number of deals.
Yeah.
It's more and more, and this is just real for all of us right now in the market. We've been talking about the 2 hour away appointments a lot, whether it's San Diego or Lake Elsinore or up in LA or up towards Carmel. We're here to serve the public. Go on the appointments. And I think, guys, that's the big lesson today. The use of your time, 80% of your schedule should be in the 3 things that, or more every day, prospecting, appointments, and negotiating deals, right? Yeah. That's our job. That's what all of the marketing, all of the prospecting leads us to those appointments. Go on the appointments, serve more people.
Yeah.
Earn more for you and your family.
Yeah. And then don't get derailed when this produces a deal. Don't become the agent that stops prospecting, stops going on appointments, stops negotiating contracts when one deal is in the pipeline. You know, all of a sudden it like sucks all the oxygen out and you're like, it's the roller coaster.
It's the roller coaster
Get off
effect.
the roller coaster. Keep prospecting, find more deals. And the old notion says if you have a really bad client and you want to fire them, you can't unless you have others in the pipeline.
It's why you prospect. It's why you market.
Yeah.
So we decide who we get to
That's
work with.
That's right. Yeah. Hey, we hope that you've enjoyed today's topic, us discussing real life situations.
Yes.
Bringing our over 30 years of 50 years of combined real estate experience.
50 years
of combined real estate experience in this Real Impact Show. We want to make sure that you get good value from it. And so we want to hear your comments. Would you have gone on the appointment? Do you think that there's pros and cons? We want your honest opinion.
Completely.
Okay. If you're an agent trying to grow your business, we want to hear from you. So comment on our YouTube channel.
Yep.
Comment on the podcast. Send us an email, whatever. Find us on social media and let us know what you think.
Yeah, I really want to know. Would you have gone on the appointment?
Yeah.
Would you have referred it out? Would you have said, sorry, I can't help you?
Yeah.
How would you have handled that situation? Yeah. Again, have real estate will travel.
That's
We're going to have more of these coming up soon. So let's be on top of it.
Let's go. So here we go. Closing.
Until next time, be great, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.
You've been listening to the Real Impact Show with Aaron Zapata and Don Jacks. You can download it on any of your platforms where you listen to podcasts. You can also head over to the YouTube channel. Just go over there and search for Real Impact Show. You will find us there, and you can watch us as well as listen to us. Leave us a 5-star review. Send us referrals. Let us know how we can help you. We're in Southern California, and we wish you the best. Thanks for listening today.
Serving the whole state of California. Be great.
Talk
to you soon.
God bless. Thanks for listening.